Now, let's go to some of the issues that you have raised as per the critical visit that happened yesterday in Kano. Now, this is Olusegun Obasanjo's desire. Actually, I've been speaking with lots of people, and they tell me that this is what looks like the last gift that Olusegun Obasanjo, former president of Nigeria, thinks he can give to Nigeria's democratic process by seeing how he can bring some younger elements, quote, within the angle of Nigerian politics. You know, when you say young, it means between 60 to 65 to 70. Seeing how you can bring them together to actually see how, you know, they can, help the democratic process to be strengthened, and there will be a strong opposition, and then of course battling the governing party in 2027, because the way things are going, most of them are not feeling happy that it may look like a one-way contest in 2027. And don't forget, sometime around December, there was a committee that was set up by Olusegun Obasanjo, who had brought some elements between then Labour Party leader Peter Obi, who's now in the ADC, and then Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. So that committee was set up in December. And Magaji Ibrahim, who happens to be a senior advocate of Nigeria and the National Legal Advisor of the NNPP before this court judgment in the NNPP, had confirmed that meeting, and they had said that, look, they had been approached. He himself was a member of that committee, and they're already working towards that. So in the ADC, you look at the permutations that are ongoing now, with the South-South ADC already adopting Rotimi Amechi, and you see the article is already strong there. Can Obasanjo and all these people who are trying to mull an Obi Kwankwaso ticket have their way in the ADC? Is there any way that they can, adopt the formula of a reconciliatory approach, where they can adopt the sort of system that Babangida used in the aborted Third Republic, where he brought about the issues of new breed politicians, asking older politicians to stay away, although that was a decree that excluded the people, the likes of Shehu Musa Yar'Adua and all of that, and then, Adamu Chiroma and all of that. Can this happen in the ADC? Now, if that will happen, then, of course, Atiku Abubakar will have to be a part of the process. Then, of course, people like Rotimi Amechi will have to be a part of the process. So, but, I mean, if you look at it, Obasanjo seems to be bringing back what he had tried in 2023, when he tried to, sometime around 2022, move around with Peter Obi across the north, using Professor Ango Abdullahi of the Northern Elders Forum to see how the north can be galvanized towards, seeing Obi, being given a ticket and then being supported by the North. That didn't happen. And when eventually Obi would then go ahead and get the Labour Party ticket, he still tried to see how Kwankwaso can join him. But Kwankwaso said no. He is a more experienced politician, a two-term governor, former two-term governor, former Minister of Defense. He had been a former Deputy Speaker, so he was more politically experienced than Peter Obi. But now, seeing that President Tinubu had himself wanted to get Kwankwaso, but some of the conditions that Kwankwaso put in place were not accepted, and this NNPP judgment had come in place, wouldn't it be like, a golden opportunity for Kwankwaso to now go back to that initial arrangement? Well, these are the things that people are saying, and I've spoken to a few people in Kano last night, and including this morning, and they are saying that, look, Kwankwaso is beginning to be appealed to that decision, that desire, and so on, as long as the elders of the ADC are able to contain all other groups, and they are able to ensure that this system is perfected and it is battered in 2027.